like to talk to you about the evil that is done by good men. This came in my email inbox. Several years ago, I wrote to you about the lack of Christian response to the murder of Christians in Asia and Africa. I am a Jew who has been horrified by the slaughter. I'd always thought that the world reacted to the European murder of Jews simply out of anti-Semitism. But today, in my 70s, I understand that people live in denial and that their silence is due to fear, in this case not being pro-Islam, but just simply being afraid. I've dealt with the subject of Islam in the public marketplace of ideas for 13 years, and what I've discovered is that most people don't want to hear, and that even those who will hear do not want to speak up. That is, good men are silent. This gentleman is correct. Christians don't seem to care about their own dead, but Jews don't seem to care either. Hindus barely speak anything against the murder of their own Hindus. Everyone is silent because they're afraid. Now, what are they afraid of? Not a body bomb, not being assassinated. What people are afraid of is that they'll be called a name. They will be called a hater, a bigot, an Islamophobe, and that people at church or synagogue or work or in their family will say, "Oh, you're one of those. You're a hater." And that's as bad as it gets. They don't shoot you. They don't kill you, not in this country yet, but they will say, "Oh, he's one of them." And that is enough to keep good men silent. Someone just simply saying, "Oh, you're a bigot." These good men will not allow debate to happen. Good men are in charge of universities, and yet the subject of Islam cannot be debated. All of our guardians seem to be silent. Law enforcement, military, media, education, the ministers, everyone seems to be silent in the face of Islam, and this silence is evil. Before the Second World War, the ambassador from the United States to Germany was William Dodd. He noted that living in Berlin, and of course he associated being an ambassador with a better class of people, is that nobody really liked Hitler at all. They thought he was a thug, didn't like him, but they were silent about him. And he kept thinking, as Hitler keeps ratcheting up the pressure, these good men are going to speak out and they will save Germany. He kept waiting and waiting, and the good men were silent and more silent. So they never spoke up. And by the time they realized, we should speak up, it was way too late. Name calling. It's odd. When I was young, there was a sing-song that sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Today, names will hurt. People are terrified. Men who are wealthy and powerful, they could be elected powerful politicians, but when it comes to Islam, they're silent because they don't want to be called a bigot and a hater. Well, I've been called a bigot and a hater. The Southern Poverty Law Center says that I'm one of America's top 10 bigots. People who know me think that's slightly funny, but that's what the Southern Poverty Law Center says. CARE says that I'm part of the inner circle of hate. I've been called every name in the book, and you know what? None of them hurt me anymore, because you know why? Because I know that I'm speaking up for the sex slaves that Islamic State has. I know that I'm speaking against the children who are raped when they're young. I know that I'm speaking against innocent people who are murdered, Christians who are machine gunned in their church and their heads cut off. I'm speaking for those people. And so I do an ethical balance here. I go, okay, called a bigot and a hater, but I'm speaking for the innocent, for those who are truly suffering. And for me, it's a good moral calculus. I don't care what names you call me. I'm going to speak up for the weak. I'm going to speak up for those who are being brutally punished and exterminated. I'm going to speak out. And you're right. They call me bad names. They call me a hater and a bigot. Silence in the face of evil is itself evil. God will not hold us guiltless. Not to speak is to speak. Not to act is to act. That was by Dietrich Bonhoeffer. He did speak, he did act, and he died. But let's say you're an atheist, so you don't care what those Christians say. Well, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Here's what drives me crazy, is that people are silent, and the one thing that will destroy the Islam is not bullets and bombs. We don't need to be killing anybody. What we need is humor, irony, satire, because you see, Islam cannot stand any of those kinds of things. They will call us names, but when you even infer any of these things about them, they go up. So Islam is easy to deal with, but it has to be with truthful, looking them in the eye, and just saying what is true. So, do so. The worst thing that'll happen, speak to your family, speak to your friends. You know what they'll do? Some of them will listen. They may not listen all at once, but you can work on them. But speak up. Speak for the persecuted. Don't be silent just because you'll be called a hater and a bigot. Hey, I'm a hater and a bigot. It ain't that bad, because I'm doing good while you're being silent and you're thought good, but you're doing evil. Come over to my side, the side of speaking out. Thank you.